Well, with frigid temperatures in store for tomorrow, we're already seeing a long list of schools deciding to shut their doors, which you can see scrolling now at the bottom of your screen.
As 9 on your side's Josh Bazan learned, a lot of thought goes into making the decision to finally close.
Indian Hill schools will be closed tomorrow. The superintendent making that call around 3:30 this afternoon after looking at some of those serious wind chills we're expected to get tomorrow. I sat down with the superintendent earlier today and he explained the thought process that goes into closing the school. And there's a pretty specific criteria for it, and the preparations start long before the weather gets here.
Well, when we consider a weather event, planning begins to take place many days before the actual event. So we've been looking at the forecast probably for the last week.
At Indian Hill schools, they have school closures down to a science. Using recommendations from the National Weather Service, the district will cancel classes if the real temperature gets to -10 degrees or below, or if the wind chill hits -20 degrees. And tomorrow, those wind chills are what Superintendent Dr. Mark Miles is paying close attention to.
So those are the general decision-making parameters that I've used over time. There's a bit of an art and science to that because we consider, is there any precipitation, any winter weather that's going to accompany those cold temperatures? We're looking at the real temperature as well as potential wind chills. The focus is always upon the safety of our students and staff and the ability of the buses to run in a timely manner.
Miles says very few students walk to school at Indian Hill, which is something they also take into account. The wind chill tomorrow is expected to be between -15 and -30 degrees, at which point frostbite can set in on exposed skin in fewer than 30 minutes.
We're not residents of Canada, and many of our families don't have a 0-degree parka, for example, and 0-degree gloves, for example. So we consider that as well.
Superintendent Miles says it's a lot easier to make that decision when you're just worried about what the temperature is and you don't have to think about how much snow might or might not fall. Live in Indian Hill, Josh Bazan, 9 on your side.